I guess I would define it as loving someone despite their flaws, despite maybe even decisions that they make, with boundaries, with how to put this. So, yeah, you're basically loving someone despite their flaws and their decisions and everything, but unconditional love doesn't mean you have to be around all the time. So there are boundaries, there are healthy communication, there is room for growth. You're not, and if it's unhealthy, you can love them despite that, but that doesn't mean you have to stick around for it. That is the definition I'm throwing out there.
All right, so we want to go off of that definition. Anybody want to give some pushback on that definition before we go into the actual question?
I think we can go with that definition.
Deontay, you good?
For now. Let's
For
go
now,
with that.
okay.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
All right, so we'll go with that. So
I
then,
mean, what discrepancies do you see? I'm
Yeah.
curious now.
I was trying to understand the totality of what Caroline was saying. Because I'm in my head, I would just think that unconditional love is just love given, like not regarding or concerned with any outside or any other force or influence. Just the love I give is the love I give. With the love I receive is the love I receive, regardless of what may happen or just there's no other factor. So
I think that can be included. I just don't think that I don't want it to become a conversation of I love this one despite of abuse. I love this person despite of their toxicity. I don't and when I say despite, I can love that person, but I don't need to deal consistently with that behavior, especially if it's going to affect me negatively. I can love you from afar. That's still, to me, inclusive of unconditional love. But,
yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
all right, so going with that definition, then, who would you say are more likely to have that unconditional love? Men or women?
I feel like, so when I initially heard this question, I guess I didn't have the impact of Kurlan's definition. So what came to mind was I don't think either is necessarily capable of unconditional love more than the other, but I do sometimes feel like women are more likely to fall into that love faster or if you call it lust faster, and then men, I feel like once it takes longer, but then once it happens it just lasts longer. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But that's what was going through my mind. Just because I know, I guess from experience with my girlfriends, I feel as though the lust happens a lot faster, or the love. I mean, we can call it love because at the time you don't know that it's lust. The lust happens faster. But I feel like for men, it's like almost as though when it happens, it's kind of like if it's actually love, then it's like they stick through it longer.
All right, Deontay, what you think?
Okay, wait. Quick question. So, Tiana, can you give me like an example, like maybe not from like your girlfriend stories, but like an example of your, I guess your theory, I guess. Okay,
Well, I guess for me, I feel like, and this is speaking on a very general sense. In a general sense, I feel like women, sorry, and then this might be also because of societal things, but I feel like men can jump and jump and jump, and it'll be absolutely nothing. But from my personal experience, not me, but those who I've encountered, we can see that I see that for women, it's almost like if we get involved in a situation, then we stick with that situation from early rather than a man who can easily hop around. And this is very general, and this is definitely from my experience.
Okay.
I'm not sure what you mean by hop around, though. You mean hop like their love, in terms of their love?
You're talking about in terms of men?
Yeah, you're saying that
No, being
men are.
able to deal with anyone, being able to mess around with anyone, being able to be in a situation with anyone. Not necessarily. That's what I mean by hop around.
Okay, I see. All right, I'll let Deontay go.
Do you disagree? Do you want to? No, I'm kidding.
No, I mean, listen, I'm staying neutral for now, but maybe I'll maybe I'll chime in. I'll let Deontay go.
So regarding to the question, so I do agree that for the majority of folk, it's not necessarily maybe a gender or sex that would perform unconditional love more than the other. Definitely depends on the situations and the environments that people are in. But from my experience, it has been the women that have experienced or shown on more unconditional love than the men in their male counterparts. I mean, a lot of times it was because we're younger, so it's like a lot of guys don't know how to function relationships or navigate to them properly. But women have shown that they were more patient or understanding, considerate of people's misdeeds or maybe mistakes. So whether it be maybe to a detriment to themselves, probably. So I've seen, I can be honest. I've seen a lot of women be more forgiving or show more unconditional love than men. Yeah, I'll say that.
I'm gonna just say, so Tiana, you had said something regarding how women or men rather that they they are able to they start loving after the woman might start loving. But you were saying, probably what I got from this was it seemed as though their quality of love is it seems like it's a little bit higher to me, because you're saying that a woman can easily give it, but you also said that when a man does love, it's like he like really dives into it. That's what it sounded like you were saying. No, I just want to make sure I got you correctly.
Yes.
You would agree with that?
I
Okay.
feel, yes, I feel as though, yeah, no, that's exactly what I said. I was going to expound, but that's exactly what I said.
Okay. And everybody here agrees with that? That's so interesting statement.
So saying that women, I guess you say, fall in love faster, or their love is less meaningful or less impactful than a man's
I
love.
don't think
Well,
I don't think
yeah,
it's less meaningful. I feel like I'm trying to find a way to say that portion of what I mean, but I feel like going back to even what you said, Deontay, you said that the patience that women have, I feel like I need to gather my thoughts. And I don't think that our love is worth less. I just think that we are more likely to love. I don't know if that makes
so
sense.
if let's say hypothetically a woman says they're in love with me, right? If if they're saying that, should I take it with a grain of salt? Is like, because you're saying that she's able to just give that love quicker than a man, and then I should do what then? How should I be looking at that if she's
Like a
freely
woman
giving
saying
it?
that she's in love with you, or she said that she loves you.
Okay, there's differences here.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't
All
know.
right.
I feel, we never specified the type of love in the conversation. And so for me, when we talk about general love, like when we talk about friendship relationships, I do feel like women are more likely to hop on the love part of it. And so I'm not saying that our love is worth less. I just think it's just we love
It's given more,
fast. Yeah,
like,
I do
easily.
feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else
I
want to
mean,
chime in on the topic? Or y'all want to move on to the next topic?
Wait, so I have a question. So I guess for the women, right, for ladies. So Tiana you said that men, women are more easily able to give love or show love, right? So is it really due to I know for guys aren't really. I know guys that are able to show love very easily, right? Depending on who we're talking about, whether it be to mother, father, brothers, friends, right? The bros. Like, we can show
Right.
love to bros easily, right? But when it comes to women, right, that's, or like to our romantic partner, that's not usually the case, or not really said to be the case, right? So is it more so that maybe women, right, are not able to identify what it really means when a guy loves? Is that possible?
Are you wondering if women have trouble trouble determining if a guy really loves them?
Yeah. Like, apart from the, oh, me telling you I love you, or me telling a female I love you, or I'm in love with you. Like, can a woman like really tell that? Like, is that possible?
So I think it's a fair statement,
Mm,
but I do think it's very circumstantial.
okay.
So there will be relationships where it's very obvious that this man is in love with this woman. And there will be, and that man or that woman will then clearly know, like, this man's in love with me. Like, he said so, and his actions match his words. I think we run into an issue where the man is saying one thing and his actions are matching exactly. And I think that goes both ways, honestly, because there are women out there who are capable of saying one thing and doing something different. And at the same time, there are different ways of showing love, and a lot of relationships don't take the deep dive to learn each other's languages or love communication, so that I can really cater to that. So yes, I think a woman shows love more obviously, but I also think it's because we are ingrained to do so, and we are expected to be the more emotional partner. So
You know,
then, and then on the flip side, we're actually not taught. Well, men aren't taught to show those emotions generally. For whatever reason, I have many, but we're not going to go into that. But and because women aren't taught to be able to decipher, and honestly, we're not mind readers. So if it's not obvious, the same way how men say it's not obvious for us, they can't read our minds when we want things. It's the same way, like, I can't read your mind that you love me if your actions don't match your words.
I actually think you brought up a very interesting point that I guess kind of counters what I initially said, or kind of changed my perspective. I think it might not be necessarily that women love faster. It's more so that they may show their love in ways, like to show it in a more evident way than men faster.
Mm-hmm. I think it just all comes back to the communication within that relationship and
Yeah.
knowing who your partner is. So, like, I have friends that are very aware that I'm not good at verbally telling my friends I love them. That's just not a general expectation from me. And it's not taking away from the fact that if I love them or not, I do. But they know that I tend to show up for them. So, like, if they're in need, or if they are even putting on a program or where they need support, like in person or any type of support, I tend to be there in that way. But to get a text message from me talking about, I love you so much, that, is not really my communication style. But my partner, that might be something he needs. So and then I have to take it upon myself to, one, understand that might be something he needs and do it. Whereas I don't think that happens. That communication right there doesn't happen from woman to man or man to woman, honestly. So there's a disconnect there. So I don't know if anyone falls in love more, to answer the question directly. If male or female are more capable of unconditional love, I think it's an even playing field. It just all comes down to, are you able to show that unconditional love in a way that your partner understands?